So I want to bring up Lisa, I want to bring up Joe, I want to bring up Rocco and Rich for my special surprise. One thing about, if you've known me, Halftime Howie, always expect the unexpected. One thing I enjoy doing is reaching out to people, making a difference. We've done that with the show, and I'm very proud that we've worked with Rocco for a long time, Rich for the last year or so. Rich and Rocco met through being on the spectrum, both having Asperger's syndrome. I personally believe that being on the show, having a segment, communicating, doing the great things they've been doing on the show has been a great experience for both Rich and Rocco.
Absolutely.
So I came up with an idea, kind of floated it to Rocco, but Rich hasn't heard of it. And I want to get feedback because Lisa and Joe work with kids and make a difference with people. My idea is I want to contact the Autism Centers of America and have Rich and Rocco sponsor a young person and bring that person on the show and mentor that person, because you guys have made great strides.
Absolutely.
And I think that
I'd be honored.
Your experience could make a difference with a younger person.
Totally.
You're hearing about this for the first time, Joe. Your first gut reaction.
Well, I think first of all, there's nothing like walking the walk and then talking to someone about the walk and then being able to take your experiences and helping others with that. The mistakes that you might have made, the good things you might have done. I can't think of two better people that would be able to handle such a situation and talk about their experiences and reach out and help people. So gut reaction, I think it's a wonderful idea.
Lisa, you have an amazing son in high school. You work with people. Your gut reaction.
I'm floored. I think that you guys are also going to get more out of it, I think, than the kids will. I don't know what age you're going to pick, but I think that emotionally what this is going to do for you. And I think we've come strides since you guys were young in school,
Yeah,
right,
so
with
definitely.
autism. So I think this is kind of like a full circle for you guys. So I think it's good.
I'm very excited.
Rich, I just put you on the spot.
Not the first time.
But sometimes it's a challenge. Sometimes I think it's better in life to get the gut reaction than to have something planned and staged.
Yeah.
So I just presented to you guys. Rich, your thoughts?
I am absolutely floored. I'm honored. I've been wanting to mentor for a long time. My father was a math teacher. I've been wanting to teach aviation to autistic individuals because I think that it's a field that is so broad, it is so unlimited. The skies literally are unlimited. And I learned that at a very early age, that you're only as limited as your mind allows you to be. And you know, I'm going to be 46 in May, and I am honored to want to do this, and I want to get more people like myself into the cockpit because I believe that autism is not a limited disease. It doesn't limit you. It mainly gives you a whole new perspective on life, a whole new perspective on your goals, your dreams, your ambitions. And I'm very fortunate to know Rocco. I've known him for almost 2 decades now, and he's more electric than anyone I've really ever met except for Howie.
Thanks.
And I believe that this is going to be the beginning of something tremendous.
Yes.
I also have a surprise. In the coming weeks, as we approach summer, you're going to see a whole new way of watching the Halftime Howie program because we're going to take it to the skies. The Howie-copter is real. We have a drone. It is registered. In the coming weeks, I hope to start doing test flights with it, and by summer, have the camera running. And Long Beach will never look so good as it will from the sky. And you are going to experience 1080p video. You're going to experience everything that you're experiencing now, but from a whole new angle and perspective. And I'm very excited about this. And whoever I mentor, I will bring into that as well. because I think that's an outstanding way to get people into aviation. You start them young, you explore different avenues, different ranges, and you go from there. And I look forward to working with Rocco on this together, and whoever we choose, it's going to be the luckiest kid, because I'll tell you, I'm a little old to be a dad, but at least now I can say I have a kid that I can be proud of.
Rocco, you and I go back about 4 years, and I've given you a lot of challenges over the years. Just to give you an idea, one of the greatest projects I've given Rocco is that we had a situation here in Long Beach where young fellow in middle school was walking across the street, and he got hit by a car, and he was paralyzed. And his name was Abdul Bird. And we did a big fundraiser for him. And I asked Rocco to recite a poem called "This Bird Will Fly Again." It was really moving thing. And Rocco's also been on the show in the past and talked about autism awareness. And I've seen tremendous strides in Rocco from a personality, from when he started to where he is now, being involved in the show on a weekly basis. So Rocco, I think taking your experience and where you've come in life to mentor a young person, I think you and Rich are going to do a fantastic job. And I think the two kids that you pick, it's going to be an enriching experience. Your thoughts?
My thoughts is I'm just overwhelmed. I mean, I'm great. I've been privileged to do so many things on this program the last couple of years. And the incredible thing about autism, I think people need to understand, is the fact that it's a disorder that still has yet to be fully understood. I think people like to think they understand it, but it's hard. I mean, especially like when you're a young kid, you have this thing, you have a lot of struggle, and you have a lot of things that you have to deal with, things that most people take for granted pretty much. So in terms of mentoring that to somebody, I think it's a great way to impart my knowledge and what I've learned onto a young person, in the sense that they need to, because the thing that they have to deal with in life when they're autistic and they get older is the fact that they don't grasp onto things as instantaneously as a person that's neurotypical is. But I think that by helping somebody, I think that we would be able to help. We'd be able to help somebody that we can help them bridge the gap the way Rich and I have kind of helped ourselves bridge the gap. And it's a lifelong process, and I'm very, very proud to take on this endeavor.
Lastly, one thing that I'll never forget is that when we had that horrible, horrific tragedy in Newtown, Connecticut, where 24 young children lost their lives, we were all devastated, but Rocco was devastated on another level. Because when it was reported that the killer had Asperger's syndrome, Rocco was really affected because he felt that society in general would say this is what happens to people that have Asperger's syndrome. And it really, talk about that, the way that impacted you, Rocco, and how deeply you care about people with Asperger's.
Oh, absolutely, because the whole thing of that happening, it still hits people. It's still so horrific what happened, and somebody would shoot young people like that. It's just tremendous by itself. But the fact that somebody who did that happened to come from somebody on my spectrum, you're just kind of floored by that in a way, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to have people that are poster children for something, and you feel like you're pigeonholed to that. I mean, it's hard enough to be on this spectrum and have people compare you to certain things, because you want to feel like you can achieve a great deal of things and really strive. And the problem is that we live in a society that stereotypes people, and I think that it creates a great bridge between ourselves and the world at large. I think it's important that people understand that we are all on the spectrum, but we're not all the same people. We are all individuals still. We all do our own things. We all have our own approaches to life. And thanks.
Absolutely.
And it's very important that people are not put off by our differences, that they're able to embrace our differences and accept the fact that we are trying our best to kind of bridge ourselves into, like I say, the neurotypical world. And I think it's very important that we be still given a fair chance to be able to do that now and always.
All right, great job. And I think Rocco and Rich are going to do a fantastic job. I'm looking forward to this with great enthusiasm, and I think it's going to be.
Yeah, me too.
I think this is going to be something that's really going to be impacted throughout Long Island and maybe beyond, because I think it's going to be a great. And I think Rocco and Rich, you guys are going to do a fabulous job on this challenge.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and I just want to echo what Rocco said, that it affected a lot of us, and in the end, this project is going to enlighten, I hope, everyone to what every one of us goes through, and make people realize that it doesn't limit us. If anything, it gives us a greater ability to educate and to inform and to enlighten, and I'm very excited to do that. Thank you.
Hey, great. Folks, I know that they're going to contact autism centers. Matter of fact, I think this video should be sent to them, and there's no doubt in my mind, Rich and Rocco will do a phenomenal job. Phenomenal.
Yes.
All right. All right.